Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Gemini and Sagittarius on Wednesday. So if you're interested in the deck that I'm using today, it's called the Gilded Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. Also, just as a heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually only take cards that have jumped out, like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in a group that's too big, I'll go ahead and put them back and then continue shuffling. But my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to keep shuffling and pull hopefully 4 more cards, and then we can get started. Alright, Gemini. So we have one last card that flew over there. And now we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Sorry. I only pull my overall energy cards in the upright. So we're going to read your Hanged Man energy in the upright. But like I was saying, with the Hanged Man in the upright, we're looking at a need to look at something from a different perspective. So I think that for right now, a lot of you guys have been I feel like a lot of you guys have had sort of this first impression of a problem or a situation. And that's kind of been like all that you've gone about with this issue. But I think that there is a lot more that meets the eye when it comes to this particular situation. So I think that you guys really need to go within and see what it is that perhaps you didn't see the first time around, right? I feel like maybe you kind of got off on the wrong foot also, and this is kind of you needing to reevaluate things and try a different approach, because I feel like something in your approach right now currently is probably less than efficient for you, and I feel like if you really just take the time to see what it is that you perhaps didn't see or missed the first time around, your approach will be a lot more effective, right? And I see the Nine of Cups with the Hermit card here. So I should point out here that this is 9 and this is also 9. So I'm seeing sort of that synchronicity of the number 9. And I think that for a lot of you guys, now is a very important time of introspection, right? And currently, as I'm filming this, there's, the whole coronavirus scare is going around. So a lot of people are quarantining themselves in their house. So I think that right now is a good time for you guys to really take advantage of that. Regardless of when you watch this reading, take advantage of this alone time and really try to harness everything that you can from your internal mental world, right? Because the Hermit card is actually representative of the astrological sign of Virgo, which happens to be ruled by Mercury, which is also the ruling planet of Gemini. So I think that you guys have a lot of things in common with sort of this Virgoan energy. Whereas I tend to think of sort of the Gemini energy as the more extroverted side of this Mercurian energy. This is more of like an introspective sort of analytical sense, right? So I think that right now is a good time for you guys to really try to harness in on that, especially if you have like really Mercury dominant charts. So next, beyond this sort of introspection, I'm seeing this 9 of Pentacles. Now the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is actually a really great card to have, because the 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. And also, I looked at the timer on the video just now, and it was at 444. So I think that you guys are seeing a lot of synchronicities, especially since we have the 9 and the 9 here. But like I was saying, I think that you guys are going to see a lot of that energy. You're going to see a lot of this wish fulfillment, because I think that you guys have been trying to really manifest something for a long time. So you've planted your seeds a long time ago, and now they're really starting to grow, right? And the reason I know that is because we have this Ace of Pentacles with this Ten of Cups. Now, the Ten of Cups is actually a really wonderful card, and honestly, so is the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm getting this really powerful combination here, and I'm hearing the word power couple. So for a lot of you guys, it might be love, but if it's not, then I'm seeing that either way, you're going to see a very powerful union, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a union with a person. It might be you uniting with your goal, if that makes sense. But going back to sort of this growing your intention, your seeds of intention, the Ace of Pentacles is a very earthly ace, right? So it's the ace of the earth, because pentacles are of the earth, right? So because of that, it has the tendency to be a little bit on the slower side, but because it's a little bit slower, it takes more time to grow, and it becomes more firm and stable as a result. So I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, because there is a lot of Pentacles energy here, right? We have this Hermit, which is very earth energy. We have this Ace of Pentacles. Then we have this Three of Pentacles. So I feel like you guys are really trying to have that stability right now, whereas in the past, maybe you've been up in the air a little bit. And I definitely feel that it's stability in love, right? And your emotions. Why do I say that? Because you have the Four of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Cups, which are all emotional cards. So I think that right now you guys are going to see a lot of that. You're going to see a lot of emotions sort of boiling up to the top. And I feel like that's where this Hermit comes in again, so that you're able to really analyze those things and work with them instead of working against them. And this Ace of Pentacles really tells you that new beginning where you're able to do that is. And, you know, I hadn't really even registered in my mind that this is the Three of Pentacles, but the Three of Pentacles is a card about working together, right? And I feel like that's representative of you working together with your emotions and working together with your own energy instead of working against it. But like I was saying before I got sidetracked on this little tangent, we have the Ten of Cups, which talks about emotional fulfillment. And this one in particular really reminds me of the Ten of Pentacles, because you sort of have that house in the background. So it feels like, especially if you guys have goals towards family, that's going to be very powerful, and that's going to shine through very strongly now. But I'm also seeing sort of these women working on some kind of a hobby, right? It looks like they're knitting or crocheting. I'm not an expert on that, but either way, I think that you guys are going to really start to see progression in all of your side goals, right? I feel like a lot of you guys might have some kind of side hustle, something that you do sort of on the side, maybe even like reading tarot, and that's really going to be powerful right now, especially if you're taking a lot of time to really cultivate your goal, right? I talked about planting your seed of intention, and even though this is the Nine of Cups, it feels a lot like that Seven of Pentacles energy, where we plant something, water it, and then watch it grow, right? And then sort of moving on, we have this Three of Pentacles with the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is the initial stages of an emotional message. And this might actually not even be you, the person that's doing the emotional message. It might be another person, because I see this Page of Cups looking at this Queen who's looking away, right? So it feels like this Page of Cups is pining over the Queen of Cups, which may very well be you. But if the roles are reversed, then the roles are reversed. That's not a big deal. But like I was saying, with this Page of Cups, usually we know that there is a message coming in, right? And it's an emotional message. So that can be different for each and every single person watching this video. Just kind of depends on your situation. But the most common will be either a message of love, which is some kind of proposal, some kind of confession, or an apology. Those are the two most common. And then the one that I see a little bit less common is like a message of just like admiration or like reassurance, right? So that could be like a heartfelt letter from your mom or like a coworker or someone that says, hey, I really appreciate you. Thank you for doing what you do. And I feel like that's very heartwarming. And either way, something is coming in from somebody who has some serious admiration for you, because we see this this sort of looking, this feels like, I don't want to say stalker, but I feel like somebody who's admiring you from afar, right? And I feel like some of you guys might be like, ugh, and a little creeped out by that. But I don't think this person means any harm. I just think that they're a little bit on the weird side, if you catch my drift. But I feel like you over here are a little bit discontent with your emotional state and sort of the world around you right now, because we see the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is a very discontent kind of an energy. It's dissatisfaction and honestly sometimes kind of depression, right? Because we have sort of this energy where you're kind of in a rut whenever we see the Four of Cups. Basically what I'm trying to say here is we have 3 cups here. This man is dreaming of a 4th cup that he does not have, right? So to me, this feels like you guys want something more out of life. You want something else. And I feel like you guys have been looking towards this way, but perhaps maybe you should go into this hangman energy and maybe look back. Maybe this person is worth your time after all, right? It's just a suggestion. At the end of the day, it's obviously up to you. And like, if this person doesn't end up being good for you, then obviously, you know, act accordingly, do whatever it is that you need to do for yourself, because at the end of the day, you need to put your self-worth and self-interest, I think, above not necessarily like other people or everyone else, but I feel like it should be your number one priority, if that makes sense, you know, not necessarily in a bad way. But either way, I do see a lot of positive things, right? I do see that there's sort of this discontent right now, but I see a moment of introspection where you're really thinking and working hard on things and putting the work in. And when you do, you're going to see the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, which going from 9 to the 10 is progression. So I think that things are going to move very quickly. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is another positive card. I always love to see a 3 of Pentacles because it means that people are going to be at least a little bit agreeable with you and willing to work with you, and even possibly a love offer or some kind of emotional message to perk up and brighten up your day. But either way, that was your reading first time around, Gemini. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Gemini on Wednesdays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.